Hello, everybody. Friday night, we are here with the Fort Meade Gaming Club for another match of the League of Legends League. We have the 501st versus the joint team Maritime Vanguards. I'm Staff Sergeant Brown, also known as Downtown, here with my co-casters.
Senior Airman Chantamala, also known as Yubi, top laner for 32nd IS, and I am also joined here with
Coach Matt, also known as Snipa, and I am the coach for 501st Large Skill Yap.
All right, we're going to quickly introduce the joint team Maritime Vanguards. Top lane, we have PSC Watcha as IS Tallow, SPC Dodson in the jungle as Druid, SPC Moore as Juicy Cookie, CDR1 Lawson as Spooky T, and as support, we have CT1 Roberts as IOP6. And for the 501st, we have Technical Sergeant Corey Jones, set phasers to stun as Shen in the top lane, Staff Sergeant Porter as Sejuani's Flail in the jungle, Senior Airman Bailey, Belle of the Boulevard in mid, Senior Airman Toman as Wasdo at ADC, and Senior Airman Redmond at Barely Copper and support.
All right. So to start off the game, so you are the coach for the 501st. What do you think the chances are looking at both sides drafts here?
Well, looking at the focus of the draft for 501st, what we went for was jungle gank synergy between top and bot lane. Mid lane, we went for more of a comfort pick on Karma for Belle of the Boulevard, but there's definitely good synergy between the little trade there. Definitely good synergy jungle and you know, the side lanes. Looking at the draft for Maritime Vanguard, they have a pretty decent late game with the Aurelion Soul scaling. Aurelion Soul is a monstrous champion late game right now. Even just once Rylai's Crystal Scepter is completed, Juicy Cookie could be a disastrous problem for 501st. I'm not sure that they necessarily have a clear focus or synergy on the Maritime Vanguard draft, but they definitely have an insanely good late game. Druid's brand also is huge. Spooky T Ezreal is extremely hard to kill, and once he has multiple items, essentially just deals out heaps of free damage. So they have a decent draft. I gotta give it to 501st, unbiased of course, on their draft, because you know I did the draft, so I'll say that.
All right. One thing I am noticing here is that both junglers have actually opted to do an unconventional top to bottom clear. I guess it's more conventional for the side of 501st since it is a red start for Vi. But for the most part, we rarely ever see a top to bot clear. I think in most cases, most junglers like the bottom side leash more than top side leash. So this is a bit unique to see both junglers start like this.
Yeah, when I quickly look at the 501st comp in general, this immediately just looks like a Draven.
Well, sorry, the big team fight goes out here. Looks like there's going to be flash coming out from the Draven. Wazo is barely going to make it out here. Sejuani's Flail is going to come in. It knocks back away the Leona, and Spooky T will actually flash in to finish a kill on Wazo here, but he is going to get cleaned up by Sejuani's Flail and Barely Copper. Sorry about interrupting you there, but there was a massive
No, that's exactly what I was going to say, is this kind of looks like a Draven comp to me, and Draven getting that first blood is absolutely massive to start, kind of get him rolling. You got the Shen ult at level 6 on Draven. You've got plenty of peel with Vi ultimate. Like, this is the way that 501st needs to get going here.
That was an extremely close attempted stun by Set Phasers to stun top lane, and good block on autos. Ooh.
Sejuani's Flail coming out with a flash and knockback onto the Ace-Soul, but he's going to flash away, just Cookie barely surviving that. Sorry, continue?
Well, you know what I will say, that look mid, even though Juicy Cookie doesn't get taken down, that is Juicy Cookie's flash, and if we look at objective timers, Grubs 1, or, you know, and or the first Grub spawn are coming up very shortly, and if Juicy Cookie does not recall, that should be an advantage and pressure on Grubs 1 for the 501st, so it's very important mid gank to set up pressure for Grubs.
That is one good thing that's going on with the Comfort Karma pick, because I can easily see the Karma having a lot of prio over the Ace-Soul. So Belle Boulevard here should be able to actually be more present in these objective fights over just Kuki. Now I'm going to be wondering whether or not either Iopi or Bailey Copper will actually join in, because I know more recently in the league, more and more support players have actually adopted the tactic of moving their supports over at 4 minutes in. Something that we actually weren't seeing that often compared to the beginning. So it's pretty funny to see the tactics starting to be shared between the players here.
In some cases, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I will say that Draven, you know, this kind of is like a Draven comp. You have the Karma Shield, you have Shin Ult, but if Brand, like, Draven has low mobility in general. If Brand gets a good stun, Aurelion Soul ultimate on top, like, there are ways, especially like Leona there are ways.
The sky above goes down and hits both Sejuani's play on Bella Boulevard. Ornn is going to get knocked up on him. Stand United from Shen comes out, actually barely safely by here. And they do clean up just Kuki, as Sejuani's play is going to walk away. Bella Boulevard actually going to be able to root the Ornn here. And red team actually makes out with the kill there. Just Kuki will go down despite hitting the 2-man from the skies above.
That's kind of just what we were talking about, is that Aurelion Soul not having that flash and kind of having low mobility. That's kind of what happens with the 501st team comp versus these low mobility champions.
And I want to say, I don't know if it was easy to see, but Shen, Set Phasers to stun, blocked Talo's auto attack for possibly killing Sejuani's flail with his Shen auto attack blocking ability that I don't know what it's called. And that saved Sejuani's flail's life, so they ended up actually getting ahead on what looked to be an unfavorable engagement for 501st.
Yeah, Spear's Refuge, by the way, is the ability, and
there you go.
It is actually fairly vital in a lot of cases like these. But on JT's side, they do a lot of their characters actually do a lot more spell-based damage over the autoing, with the exception of like Ezreal. So Shen's Spirit Refuge doesn't actually really protect all that much. That was a very like unique case where it does manage to barely save someone's life, which is kind of funny considering how much non-auto damage ability we have.
If we look on the mini-map, you can see the joint team Maritime Vanguards. Yep, just like that. I was going to say setting up the vision for the grubs, and there they go. Locking those down.
So it looks like the first set of grubs have already been taken by the side of 501st. The objective control is already going towards them. Sorry, not 501st, JT.
Yeah.
My bad, wrong team. And they're actually going to catch out Talo here. No flash being used. He's just going to take it, and he will go down, giving Sejuani's flail a 3-0 start snowball. That is... That's snowball. Sorry.
I will say what we just saw top lane was the draft in action, the synergy between the Shen taunt from Set Phasers to stun with the then guaranteed eye engage on Sejuani's flail. It makes it so that Talo almost can't do anything. He did have flash and maybe could have done a flash out there and lived, but it's a super dangerous combo for both jungle top and jungle mid for 501st. Jungle bot, sorry, for 501st.
One thing I do know about Ornn, because I play him myself, is that there is a little bit outplay that he could avoid.
The unstoppable.
Yeah, the unstoppable. He can actually avoid being taunted that way and flash shortly after to dodge Divide Q, but that does require a degree of practice there. Okay, Leona is going to go in here, not able to stun Wazdo due to the Black Shield from Morgana, and he's just going to go down due to the backup from Sejuani's flail.
That was a really good Morgana Q there onto that Leona, setting up that Vi ultimate for easy pickings for Draven to lock him down. Again, this is 501st comp, just kind of playing out exactly how you drafted it.
That Black Shield is so strong. I'm surprised that... Yep. I've been thinking about like having an R-Support plays, but he doesn't play Morgana. But anyone who can play Morgana, that's a really... Oh, Call of the Forge God comes out onto Shen here, but doesn't look like anything comes out of it. Anyway, anyone who's really good at timing those Black Shields on Morgana makes any CC against their teammates very useless, essentially. And it really saves players like the Draven here from actually getting caught by vital CC from Leona. So yeah, I think that's a very good pick.
And I know we couldn't see draft on stream due to the current technical difficulties, but we did end up having the very last pick of the draft be Morgana for Barely Copper because of the Leona counter in the bot lane. So it was a huge pick, and what we missed. Oh, never mind.
Grant is going to go in onto the Shen here. Druid will actually not be able to get the soul kill. Flash from Seth Phaser, stun. Sejuani's still actually going to come over here and save his life and take down Druid. Tallow is going to take the fight here against Sejuani's flail. His team coming along. Juicy Kooky comes along, misses the skies above, and actually cannot provide any vital damage output while Sejuani's flail just finishes off Tallow here. Stand United comes in from Shen here on Sejuani's flail, but I don't think it was needed. They had it cleaned up.
They almost got that pick. If that Brand had a little bit more damage, I mean, I think that could have went the entire other direction. That was just such a close play.
I think he thought he had that in the bag too, because he started walking away. He started turning away from that.
He almost did, and it was unfortunate to see Druid end up flashing to try to secure the kill, and then realize he had all of his abilities on cooldown and actually could not, and have to turn around.
This is not a good look for JT right now with a 1-8 start. Wasto taking the aggression out onto Spooky here, and Io, a lot of damage coming out. Juicy Kooky trying to get some damage onto Bell, but
something that we missed. The directed camera desperately wanted to show us a very extended view of Set Phaser's to stun top lane because he's so pretty. The 501st did take a dragon off of that play bot lane a few minutes ago.
Oh, wait, the solo player comes out. Cleanse comes out from Wasdo here. Iop is going to continue with his dive. He's going to take the tower, but Spooky T is going to flash in, and Whirling Death is actually going to do a lot of damage to Spooky T here, and Wasdo does take one down with him in a 1v2. That impressive counterplay by him right there.
Wow, I think that was a really good catch by JT Maritime Vanguards on that Draven, but also a really good outplay to go 1-for-1 on Draven for sure.
I was not expecting that 1-for-1. Looks like
I will tell you.
Sorry.
I will tell you, in that bot catch that looked like a bot catch, if Wasdo had used the spinning stand aside axes from Draven, help me with the ability name. he could have denied the engage from IUP 6 Leona and actually just completely lived and possibly got a kill.
Alright. Looks like there's going to be a fight going on here. Sorry. 501st is going to be invading the blue side jungle here. No major spells going off, no major deaths.
And that's one thing we just noticed that doesn't get talked about a lot is the armor shred on the Vi W. This Vi already having 5 kills does a lot of damage, even though Orange building, straight tank armor, it kind of just shreds through it, especially in these early levels.
Looks like we got a little bit of an ARAM going on here. A lot. The skies above being used by Juicy Kooky here doesn't stun anyone, and the entirety of 501st just walks away. This mid gathering is very strange. I don't see what both teams are trying to do here. Yeah, I'm actually frankly lost on what's going on here, but it looks like they are going to be returning back to their lanes here.
Just seeing that Aurelion Soul ultimate, just a friendly reminder to all you solo queue enjoyers out there, just ban Aurelion Soul. That is insane. That champion is busted.
That was the big ult too, but they didn't really get anything out of it. It was a very strange, other than holding the tower, I guess.
Yeah, let's do a quick breakdown of that too. If we look at timers, second dragon is coming up, so blowing the upgraded or advanced Aurelion Soul ult from Juicy Kooky actually incredibly not ideal leading into what could end up being a second dragon for 501st if they play it safely and set it up in advance.
The teleport from Karma has just been used mid. I don't know why it was used mid, but it has been. Dragon is coming up here with Sejuani's Flail and Barely Copper moving down to start securing vision and starting the Dragon overall. JT does see that they have started it because of the scuttle, but they are absolutely melting it on the side of 501st. I don't think. Yeah.
Oh, close steal there.
The 2-shot barrage coming out from Ezreal, but not
With
quite.
how ahead Wasdo is currently, definitely strong side bot lane for 501st, and also aside from the good decision to take Dragon, amazing pink ward from Bella the Boulevard to absolutely push Aurelion Soul off and almost entirely deny counterplay on that dragon.
Getting
Now
a
they're
little
just going
aggressive.
straight for Herald.
Aggressive on the side here. But Sejuani's Flail charging in the Vault Breaker on the rear side. Cease and Desist does comes out onto Druid. The Call of the Forge God comes out, hits one. And it looks like they're just going to focus down Ornn. There's going to be 5 people take on the side of 501st. No, sorry, 4 people. Wasto wasn't even there. They are able to steer the Rift Herald here. No, this is kind of a bloodbath right now. I'm not gonna lie.
You generally want to trade Rift Herald for a dragon if you can't take a dragon, and what we saw there was Maritime Vanguard unfortunately tried to contest a dragon that they probably could not get, and did a very late start on Rift Herald, so then 501st said, hey, we'll just walk up there. That's gonna be ours too.
I'm surprised that like they actually the rotations for 501st are actually being done very well. Don't get me wrong here, but JT does not feel like they're playing as well as I remember them to. Having played against them like earlier this season, I think they're a little bit off their game right now.
And I will say too that the 501st are, you know, despite, you know, they are ahead, but they're still playing their team comp really well. Instead of like, you know, fighting for Herald, there's like before Herald we even started, let's just go ahead, let's get Vi ult, Season Assist, the Shen ult on top, get a Stand United, and then before there's even a fight, they just, you know, wipe out their team and get the objective for free. So they're playing this comp really well.
Yeah, the macro side of 501st has actually been fairly on point. I'm just surprised at how poorly JT is responding to a lot of these plays.
I did want to specifically highlight set phasers to stun using the Stand United on Sejuani's Flail's engage to guarantee not only will Sejuani's Flail not die, but a super huge follow-up taunt.
The season does come out on Juicy Cookie here. The guy above hits Sejuani's Flail under it. Not enough damage to finish off. Willing Death does come out, but barely misses Juicy Cookie. And he is actually able to make it out there without dying, which is quite the accomplishment considering how many people and how many hours were used for that. Fiona does come in and stuns Bella Boulevard, but using her mantra, she is actually going to gain HP from this engage rather than lose any. Solar Flare does come out onto Bailey Copper, and they are trying to focus him down. Aren't actually able to get him. He is going to burn to Druid here, so it actually doesn't get away with it. And Waso will just clean up the Ace that is trying to just fly his way in.
That was a good play by JT. If they had a bit more kills on the board, if they had a bit more damage.
Oh, Vi coming out the Vault Breaker and actually going to annihilate Druid in a matter of seconds. I was not expecting that. And Shen might actually get a solo kill onto Talo here. No. Okay. The aggression on 501st is not stopping as they're actually just going to keep running it down mid here.
I want to, unbiased, of course, highlight, you said aggression on 501st. I want to highlight the caution of 501st on what looked to be a scary engage from Maritime Vanguard in the mid lane. And because of their caution, they were like waiting in a deer hunting stand in the woods. And Druid walked up and got engaged on by Sejuani's Flail, and that secured them the mid turret. So I want to applaud them on the careful aggression.
I feel like you have a lot of happy words.
Totally unbiased. Yeah.
Paul the Forge God comes out here, and Juicy Cookie coming up as well, but the Ram does miss the Shen, and Set Phaser's stun will make it out without a scratch. Yeah.
I just think the Vi is a really good pick into this comp in general. Like these low mobility, Brand doesn't have any mobility. You know, Aurelion Soul, it's just you get a Vi-R, you follow it up, and then they're dead, and then JT
Vi
has a really hard
is
time
a
doing
very
anything.
solid pick, and you know, after seeing the Briar game from last night, this is a very good contrast.
There was no prior. No, we didn't talk about that. Doesn't exist. False.
Oh my god, wait, Set Phaser's stun might actually be able to get a soul kill on Tallow here. He's very, very low. Nope, doesn't actually finish off that dive. I would have if I was him, so. Oh,
I don't know. I applaud. How much does Shen really need that kill? Let's be honest. I applaud the caution.
Oh, Caesar just goes out to Druid again. Stand United does actually comes out. Guy above actually hits 3 people in the back line. Washo is going to finish off Druid here. JT is going to actually start melting damage out. Juicy Cookie will take down Set Phaser a stun, and 501st will disengage from that fight after losing their Shen.
And you can see the potential from the JT, like the Wombo combo of the Aurelion Soul ultimate on top of the Ezreal ultimate. Like they're doing damage. They're just really far behind. But like you can see the idea. Like it could be close.
We can see the ideal. If it wasn't 4-16, I feel like that might have gone a lot better for JT. But also, honestly, the Season Assist and Stand United combo is going crazy. It's just a simple combo to see Shen ulti come in and no one can stop the buy. The Fed buy, 7-0 buy. That was a good combination of champions there, and I would like to see that a lot more, honestly.
You know, despite
what can I say? Get a coach for every team, you know.
Sorry, go ahead. 4-16, the 501st does only have 1 tower, so you know maybe the joint Maritime can, you know, kind of prolong the game for Aurelion Soul to get more stacks and stuff.
They do have only 1
clear with Aurelion Soul. They can there's ways to kind of stretch this game out, but at the same time, you know, the 501st is really far ahead. They could just do Baron if they wanted to, and if the joint team wanted to contest, they would just get ace probably, so it's hard.
I think just the pure gold difference, though, is going to negate a lot of the power that they have in terms of, like, actually obtaining stacks. Because if I feel like even though they don't have any towers, they can easily change the state of that. Okay, Season Assist is going to come out on Juicy Cookie here along with Whirling Death, and they're going to finish him off before the Skies Above actually hits the Sejuani's flail. Juicy Cookie will go down while they get their 2nd turret as we speak of it, and they might even get a 3rd one here.
Yeah, and that's exactly one way to do it. It's like, how do we stop Aurelion Soul from stacking? Oh, we'll just buy R, and then he'll just die, and then we'll just try to end the game.
It turns out when you aren't alive, you don't get any stacks. It's just in.
Great observation. I would have never imagined, personally.
It's a tanky Leona on IOP 6 there, eating a couple big auto attacks from Wasdo.
Oh, the Bolt Breaker does come in from Sejuani's play on the back. They are going to die to tier 2 here. Solar Flare does come out, but Black Shield does manage to prevent him from getting stunned. Juicy Cookie will respawn and rejoin the bottom lane and try to get some damage off, but not that much comes out. Druid off to the side, trying to see if he can get land stun here, get some damage out, but 501st will disengage as a team and safely with no ability catch from JT's side here.
And ultimately, even though they don't get the tower, which was a combination of the wave being almost cleared on the dive and chasing after Leona, they do get a free Leona kill, and they take it, and they leave.
This is just an absolute wet noodle fight up here, and frankly I'm surprised that both turrets are relatively healthy, and these guys are still fighting out up here. But it looks like Tallow made a mistake, and Set Phase is stunned by actually able to soul kill him here. He does. He doesn't even hit him. The red buff, the fade away, the disrespect.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. I think that could be what Set Phaser's just done is thinking right there.
I see. Juicy Cookie does come up to catch the wave though, so it doesn't look like they will get that top turret there. Bell does come in, tries to get the root. Juicy Cookie prematurely ends his flight, and he's going to get rooted there, but Shen is farming the wave while Bell is doing all the solo work here herself. And the Arcade Comet / Scorch.
No, it was red buff. Arcade Comet missed a 2nd red buff kill in a row.
Oh, another red buff kill. I'm surprised that Bell actually was able to finish the kill off there while Shen was farming wave. But
Juicy Cookie caught the wave and Bell caught Juicy Cookie.
He flew like 5 centimeters though. Like that ASO flight barely made any distance.
I think when you're slowed, you can't go as far.
I've never played the champ, so I wouldn't know, honestly.
That is one of the sleeper changes about Season 14 is, you know, past 20 minutes, everybody gets a blue buff, everybody gets a red buff. So, you know,
forgot about that.
Perma slow on Shen.
I personally never like acknowledge that happens when it does happen. It's like I don't even realize I have the buff on. Another turret does go to 501st, and They're starting to build push their lead. They're gonna choke him out eventually.
They're on Soul Point, and there's 25 seconds until their what will be the Chem Tech Soul comes up, and the timing of the Baron take and the easy turret take and being able to get back to claim what should be a tough soul to deny is going to be massive for 501st. They're positioning for that dragon as soon as it spawns, and this is, we see Tallow top lane with the teleport. Tallow needs to be there.
These objective timings for the 501st are just incredible. It's like they get a dragon, go up and get the herald, then the next dragon spawns, and they go up and get, you know, the baron, and then they go back to get the soul point. They just have permanent control.
There's a 10k gold difference right now between both teams. Oh, looks like Sejuani is going to go in. He does miss the vault breaker on Leona. Iope is going to just simply walk away. Druid does get chunked out over there by Bell, and they are going to get away without anyone dying, but it is a very scary fight right now for JT. Any fight they pick, even with numbers advantage, they might not be able to actually do anything with it.
I have to applaud Sejuani's flail. Be honest with me, if that was Briar, Sejuani's flail goes in and dies. And you know what he did? He held the VIQ and he left. How great is that?
I feel like you've been talking quite a lot about 501st, and I wonder why.
I mean, they're doing a lot.
It's almost like you're their coach or something. You're like half proud of them, but half not.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. So
I will say too, that Draven is doing some damage at this point in the game.
And it's a loser Draven too. Look at that Sundered Sky. It's so hard for Maritime to kill
the opportunity. It's a wild build, that's for sure. The Baron Siege does let them get the tier 3 mid. Orin does go in. The Sky above actually lands on 4 people. It's not enough to stop it. Sejuani does go in with Season of Death. Catches out Druid. Druid does go down. Wasco is going to walk in and just destroy Juicy Kuki with auto attacks, and there's nothing he can do about it. The Draven's just so far ahead. Sejuani's flail is just 11-0. Tanky as heck. Nothing able to stop him, especially with Stand United. Flash Confidence Shen does finish off Druid, and it looks like the game is just going to be over here. Spooky T goes in for a last-ditch effort to kill whoever he can and throw them 3 people on practically what is to be 1 HP. And clean game by 501st, honestly. Those 4 deaths,
there you have it,
were like minor mistakes, but other than that, it was an almost perfect game with a 16k gold difference.
Yeah, and we did say at the beginning of the game, this kind of looked like a Draven comp. I got to give it to Wuzdo. He played a great Draven game, but to be honest, this is a Sejuani show. Sejuani's flail did incredible in the Vi. You know, the Vi gets ahead against, you know, low mobility comp. What are you going to do? Joint team just got Vi'd till they lost. So
you all mentioned it too. Both sides. Good focus on objectives by 501st too, because they really were, like, you could tell as objectives came up, 501st was there. Like, they were consistent on the objectives this game.
Just back to back to back. Incredible game by the 501st. Good showing. You could definitely see the idea behind the joint team Maritime Vanguard comp, but unfortunately Vide got too far ahead and just snowballed the game. But good first game.
All right. Do we want to? I see the 501st is currently in their comms. Is there anyone we want to pull into this interview? I think that we should pull Sejuani's flail for reasons that I'm about to meme if we do pull him.
Do it.
All right.
Get him.
And we get Porter in here. I don't have drag permission, so I think Porter should just move up here as he looks to us.
Let me. Oop. There we go.
Uh-oh, I'm getting flamed.
Hey there, the soon-to-be captain. How did it feel to be 12-0 after last night's prior performance?
Well, I figured 12-0 was verifiably better than 0-12 after last night. So, I'm glad that my account didn't get banned after being paid off last night. I think they memed me before the game, and Tallow DM'd me and said, like, you're not gonna get your Briar this game. And I was just honest. I was like, I'm pretty sure we lose more on Briar than when we win. Like, even in our practices, I stopped playing it because we were just losing games.
So-
And in the league, I'm only 1-2, and even in the one game that we won, we almost lost. It was to the 34th.
Sejuani, I do have a question for you. So when I'm looking at the 501st draft, it looks like you guys have a very, it's very obvious what that comp is set up to do, but you can tell it's like meticulously crafted, around what you guys have in mind. But how much of an influence would you say Coach Matt has in these like kind of draft decisions and which direction you guys want to go?
Lie to them, I'll Venmo you.
Um,
Just do it.
To totally
Yeah,
put you both on the
okay.
spot.
So my phone is sending me a page. It's saying Coach Matthew is the mastermind of all 501 Falcon drafts and the only reason why we have any victories. But the real answer is that a lot of times we end up brainstorming drafts like the night before and like an hour or two before the game, and then we get in a draft and we like throw it all out the window.
You're like, okay, let's for fun this game.
I think there's only been 2 games where we actually stuck to the exact draft plan, and the only other game that we were pretty close to the draft plan, I accidentally mispicked. We were supposed to do like Jin Rakan and we did Zyrakan. But like this game, he just said, do you want to be on a tanky person with CC or a damage person who's tanky? And I said, I like damage.
Yeah, incredible vibe performance this game.
I will say the draft bans, we definitely stick to the plan. Like we do plan that in advance, and then the picks get thrown out the window, and then it's definitely like a communication team effort on the draft, like every time.
We did talk about like 3 different top picks, and then pick Shen with 0 seconds on the clock. So
I think the Shen pick was honestly absolutely amazing because small combos like that aren't played enough in this league, I believe. Like combos like Lucian Nami, Shen plus Engage, like things like that are just absolutely amazing champion combos, and I feel like games like these show off that power. Whenever you went in with your seasoned assist and you had Stand United follow up with you, it was unstoppable. It was an unstoppable engage from your team. Nothing the enemy team could do to avoid it. I think that was absolutely beautifully done by you guys.
Yeah, that like as a jungler who does go overly aggressive sometimes, I really like it because it does give me the chance to engage the fights with a lot more safety. So like a lot of the times where I'm dashing in, it's already on me. It's because I'm calling for it, and then like even when I get caught out, like in that early fight in Top River level 4, I thought I was just gonna die, and then Shen like saves my life. Then Shen W saves me from dying to abilities, and then I'm able to walk out before like Brand can get second round of abilities on me.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
absolutely wild.
it kept my perfect game.
I have a question. So could you share? It seemed like watching the game, because, of course, like you got all the dragons, you got multiple, you got one of the sets of grubs, kind of. You got the Rift Herald, like you were taking a lot of turrets. What were the comms like, team-wise, as far as focusing on objectives? And it was also like I applauded you for multiple
Unbiased.
restraint situations. Yeah, unbiased. There were multiple clear restraint situations, like one where you were charging Vaiku in wraiths in their red jungle, and instead of going in on someone who was dark-minded by Morgana from Barely Copper, you legitimately said no, and you just Vaiku'd over the wall and left. And if you had gone in, you probably would have died. And I was like, I got to applaud the restraint. What were the comms like for your team?
I mean, a lot of it was, so we did a lot of review for our game yesterday because we really felt like pretty much at all points until like they had more than like a 6K gold lead over us, having watched the replay, we felt like at all points we were either winning or keeping the game close enough where we always could have won. And so we reviewed a lot of the stuff and like recounted how we were calming and what we were doing and what decisions we were making. And a lot of it was just like not being adamant enough about like when to go in or when not to go in. And so this game, we like only pretty much went in if it was like a for sure fight. Like if we knew like where our surroundings were, where the enemy champions were, like, or we knew that we at least have a numbers advantage, we just were going for the plays. And if we didn't know that, like, when I accidentally like blast cone into Leona at red buff, like we didn't have any wards down, so I asked for a ward, and like until we got a ward down, I didn't even move back up. I think also if a switch flips in my head when I'm on like champions like Vi, where I have the ability to go in and out of fights and like choose when I want to fight or not. Because if I was playing Briar, I'd probably just W and try to like charge them down and run it each time.
Is your monitor on when you play Briar? Let me ask you that.
Well, it doesn't have to be because the W plays the game for me. So I just
Okay,
I just like black out my screen to save my LEDs and just keep my HUD on at the bottom.
All right. Do we have any more questions before we move on to the next game, gang? Anything at all?
None for me, just the unbiased, well played for 501st. Totally unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased, well played from the Falcons. The best team in the league. They just strategically hid down in the standings so they don't stick out. Inconspicuous.
Great game by the 501st and good game by the Maritime Vanguards. And with that, we will take a short pause and then hop into game number 2. So please stick right with us, grab a drink of water, and let's continue this Friday night of League of Legends.